Good evening, everyone. Today, 10th of June, dear SSLC students. Today, let's try to discuss another set of question paper, that is MCQ and 1 mark questions. So, let's try to start without further delay. So, first question is MCQ questions. You know that it carries 1 mark. 28 questions are there. So, first question in that is, in a hilly areas of water harvesting is done by this way, right? In hilly areas, water harvesting will be done in this way. So what is the way? The way given. So first option A is Khadin, and option B pond, option C Nigerus, option D Hulas. Okay, option D Huls, right. So here you can see that it's a biology question, I think, right. So here the right answer will be option number D, which is Hulas, which is the right answer. Children, the next question is, reducing agent used to get manganese from manganese dioxide. So reducing agent that we get from manganese to manganese dioxide is magnesium. Option A is magnesium, option B aluminium, option C copper, option D iron, right. So yes, children, the right answer is aluminium, right. So in order to reduce, aluminum oxide is used, it become manganese dioxide, and then magnesium is get manganese is get reduced in the magnesium dioxide when we use the aluminum as a catalyst, right. So what is the catalyst? We have discussed it. Catalyst is a substance which can increase or decrease the rate of reaction. Got it. So next question, let's try to see. Next question, the bonds present in the ammonia, nothing but ammonia is what? NH3, correct. NH3, the bonds present NHHH, right. HHH. So the bonds present in ammonia is which bonds? Let's try to see the options. Okay, let's try to see the options, which are the bonds which are present in ammonia. Third question, the bond present in ammonia are only single bond, only double bond, only triple bond, single and double bonds. So just now we have seen that in ammonia only single bonds are situated. So we can say that a right answer will be option number A, right. Option number A, that is single bond, right. Single bond is the right answer. The next children, next fourth question, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is found in, right. You know that heart is a, in our body, heart is a main organ which pumps the blood, which purifies the blood, right, which purifies our blood and supplies all over the body. So oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is found in, so where it is found, let's try to see that. So oxygenated blood options are left article and left vent right, B right vent right, C left article and right vent right, and option number D is left vent right. So yes, the right answer is option number C, correct, which is left article and a right one, right. So option number C will be the right answer. Got it? I hope you understand the answer. So next question number 5, that is growth hormone is secreted by this gland. So we have discussed in previous class also. So growth hormone, which is secreted by which gland? So option number A is growth gland. No, it's wrong, correct. And prostate gland, it is also wrong. And then thyroid, it is also wrong, correct. So option D is pituitary. So pituitary is also called as growth hormone. So pituitary is a gland which secretes the growth hormone. So option D will be the right answer. Got it? Option D will be the right answer. So next sixth question, Maxwell's screw rule. Okay, Maxwell's cork screw rule. We have discussed in electricity chapter, that is left hand rule and right hand rule, right? So here Maxwell's cork screw rule. Okay, so which is depends upon which rule, left hand rule, or it is Fleming's rule, it is Huygens rule, no, right? Fleming's rule, no. Left hand rule, no. So it is Maxwell's right hand grip rule, right? When we hold the conductor, right, here the thumb shows the direction of current and the other finger shows the magnetic field, right? This we have discussed in our classes. So right answer will be option number D is the right answer, correct. So option D will be the right answer. So next children, question number 7, hypermyopia is related to. So this question is exempted, but we shall discuss this. So hypermyopia, I told you that there's a two eye defects which is called myopia, which is called as short sightedness. It does mean that the people who are suffering from the myopia can able to see the near things but cannot able to see the far things, which is called short sightedness. And one more defect is hypermyopia or hypermetropia. Hypermetropia, the people who are suffering from this is can able to see the far things very clearly, but they cannot able to see the near things. Okay, the people who are suffering from hypermetropia or hypermyopia can able to see the far things very clearly, but they cannot able to see the near things, right? For this, suitable focal length of a convex lens is used, right? Convex lens is used to rectify this defect. And short sightedness, the people who can able to see the near things but cannot able to see the far things, right? People can able to see the near things but they cannot able to see the far things. This is called the myopia. In order to rectify this defect, the suitable focal length of a concave lens is used, correct. Concave lens is used, right. So here the question is very simple, that is hypermetropia is related to so long sightedness, short sightedness, and then astigmatism, and then normal sight. So normal sight, no. Astigmatism, no. Then short sightedness, no. Long sightedness, yes. Right answer will be option number A will be our right answer, children. Got it? So next, I hope you understand the question answer. And then eighth question is a freshly prepared solution of copper sulfate and ferrous sulfate appear. Okay, freshly prepared solution of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate CuSO4, ferrous sulfate, ferrous sulfate FeSO4, ferrous sulfate. These solutions are how it looks like. They looks like sulfates freshly prepared solutions of copper sulfate and ferrous sulfate appears to be blue and colorless, blue and light green, colorless and light green and blue. The option number A is blue and colorless. Option number B is blue and a light green. Option number C is colorless and a light green. Option number D is blue and a light green. So right answer is blue and light green. Remember this, children. The answer B will be the right answer. So freshly prepared copper sulfate and ferrous sulfate solutions are looks like blue and light green, but not blue and colorless. It is wrong. And then colorless light green, wrong. Okay, and light green and blue, wrong. So actually blue and light green. Okay, so this will be our right answer. Got it. So these are the 8 questions that we have discussed. So next 1 mark questions we are going to discuss about it. So first question in 1 mark is, children, what are alkalis? Alright, what are alkalis? So water soluble bases are called alkalis. Okay, this is a very important question. Okay, water soluble alkalis are called water soluble bases, water soluble bases are called alkali. Got it. So children, when you watch this session, so kindly maximize the video, told you many times, and scroll the video and watch it from the beginning. Okay, so ninth answer, let it be, ninth answer will be, what is the alkali, what are the alkalis? So water soluble bases are called alkali. Remember that water soluble bases are called alkali. The right answer is. And then next 10th question is, which metal dissolves with the heat of a palm itself? Okay, so which metal dissolves with the heat of a palm itself? Right, so it does mean that when we put this metal in our palm, right, in our palm, so it gets melted. Got it. Sorry, I cannot able to draw the clearly this. So when we keep in our palm or in a hand, okay, this metal starts melting. So what is that metal? Yes, what is that metal? Okay, which metal is a get slowly melts when kept on a palm itself? Okay, so when we keep an up on a body or a palm or hand, so this metal starts melting. So this metal is nothing but a gallium. Right, this metal is gallium. Spelling is GALLIUM. Nothing but GALLIUM. Okay, so gallium is a metal which melts on a palm. Okay, which melts on a palm. Remember that. Okay, so this is the question number 12, 11. So I think 10 we have discussed. Next, try to understand the question number 11. So what is clone? So this is a biology question. So what is clone? So remember that an organism or a cell or a group of organisms or cells produced asexually from one ancestor or stock to which they are genetically identical. Right, so I'll read out the answer once again. An organism or cell or group of organisms or cells produced asexually, spelling ASEXUALLY, okay, asexually from one ancestor or stock to which they are genetically identical. Okay, in general, if we say that, children, I hope you note down the answer. In general, if we say that, see, some of the breeds will be developed by the scientists by asexually, right, without any sexual intercourse, right, asexually, without direct contact of the parents. So we asexually, this will be you know, the zygote is formed, okay, in a female's womb. So that is this process is called it as asexual reproduction, or it is called as clone, right? Because there is no direct involvement of a direct involvement there. So it is scientifically it is done. So this is called a clone. So clone is nothing but an organism or a group of organisms or cell produced by asexually from one ancestor. Got it? One ancestor or a stock to which they are genetically identical, which they are genetically identical. Okay, so this is called a as a clone, right? So next 12th question is how lens capacity and focal length are related. How lens capacity and focal length are related. So it does mean that power of the lens, right? Power of the lens P is equal to, we have to write the answer here. P is equal to reciprocal of a focal length. Got it? P is equal to 1 by f, isn't it? We have discussed in our classes, that is P is equal to power of lens. P is equal to 1 divided by f. 1 divided by f means 1 divided by focal length of it. Okay, so how so 13 is 12th question, how lens capacity and focal length are related. So focal length and the lens capacity are related in the formula that P is equal to 1 by f. Got it? I hope you understand the answer. So next question is question number 13 that we are going to discuss now. So question number 13 is give one example for inherited and acquired character. This is also biology question. 13th question. So inherited and acquired skills, right? So there's only one it's a very simple question. Acquired means what? Actually by birth we don't have that, but we learn it afterwards, right? For example, you learn cycling, right? You learn cycling, and you learn reading, right? You learn swimming. Got it? And you learn playing volleyball, and whatever it is, so you learn the things. Okay, from our childhood we learn, so that is called acquired. When how it is called as why it is called as acquired? Because we learn it after the it is not inherited. Inherited, it comes by birth. Okay, it comes by birth is called inherited. What we learn afterwards is called a acquired, right? What we learn afterwards is called acquired. So for example, I can say that acquired I can say that one example, whatever you can write, but here I am going to write a simple example, that is swimming, right? Swimming. Okay, swimming is acquired. Got it, children? Swimming is acquired, but inherited. Okay, inherited, an example I'll give you. Inherited inherited I can give you an example of as a hairstyle hairstyle I can give you as a hairstyle, which has comes from genetically, right? So hairstyle, I can say that inherited. Sorry, I can, instead of I can say that hairstyle, we can say that hair type, right? Hair type. Okay, hair type. Or you can write color of the skin and color of the eyes. Okay, all that you can write here, right? It is called as inherited, right? Inherited. Wherein acquired is swimming. You can say that swimming, or you can say that playing football, or you can say that playing cricket, or you can say that driving the car. Okay, driving the motorcycle. So these all are acquired, right? All are acquired because they are not inherited. We learn it after our birth. Inherited means which comes from our birth. For example, the parents look alike, the children look alike the parents, right? The faces matches, the parent faces are matches with their children. That is inherited. The quality of the hair, Okay, some having gray hairs, some have the curly hairs. Okay, this is called as inherited. It comes by birth genetically. That is called inherited. Okay, so there are so many examples in that. I have just given you two examples. So acquired is swimming, then inherited is hair types. Okay, I have given two simple examples. You can write some other also, right? So next, give an example for the inherited and acquired character. 13th question is over. Next, we are going to discuss a 14th question, and that is which phenomena of light is responsible for appearance of red color sun during sunrise and sunset. This we have discussed in a previous class, okay, very clearly. And this phenomena is called as scattering of light and refraction of light, isn't it? Scattering of light and refraction of light. Got it, right? So sun looks red during sunrise and sunset. This is due to scattering of light and refraction of light, right? So scattering of light, the phenomenon we have discussed, and refraction of light, you know that when a light ray enters from one medium to the another medium, preferably that is rarer medium to the denser medium, so it bent towards the normal. So this phenomena is responsible for a red color of the sun during sunrise and sunset. Okay, I hope you understand the answer. So next, 15th question, that is um, mention two measures to control the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Any two measures? You know that carbon dioxide is is a main reason for the pollution. Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide and carbon particles in the atmosphere. Mention two measures to control it. So what you are going to, you know that carbon dioxide is get recycled. So what are the measures, right, that you can control it? Two measures he asked for the 1 mark, half mark each. So one measure I can, first measure we can write as a limited use of fossil fuels, right? Limited, sorry, I'm just writing with my hands, so I cannot write very clearly. Children, try to understand. See, limited use of fossil fuels. Okay, limited use of fossil fuels. So limited use of fossil fuels is the first precaution that we can take, or a first measure that we can take to control the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Because you know that from the vehicle as exhaust, right, from the vehicle exhaust, more carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and carbon particles are uh, you know comes as a exhaust to the environment, which are responsible for polluting our environment. Okay, so first, the measure we can write as limited use of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels means petrol, diesel, coal, all comes in that. Okay, so if we use the limited use of fossil fuels, by using limited use, you can control the situation. And second one is I can say that afforestation. Okay, second method is, first one is limited use of fossil fuels, and second method is afforestation. Afforestation, right? Sorry, so what do you mean by the afforestation, children? You know that opposite word of deforestation is afforestation, right? Cutting the trees is called deforestation, so means growing the trees, right? Growing the trees is called afforestation, right? So second measure you can take is afforestation. If you write afforestation is more than enough, right? So 2 points you have to write. So for he asked for the 2 points. The first point is limited use of fossil fuels, and the second point is afforestation. I repeat, first point is limited use of fossil fuels, and second point is afforestation. By these two very important points, we can control the exhaust of a carbon to the atmosphere, right? So mention two measures to control the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So first measure is, in that first point is limited use of fossil fuels, and second point is afforestation. Okay, afforestation means growing the plants is called afforestation, right? Next is 16th question. And the last question we are going to discuss just now, that is, what is the range of pH necessary for the organisms to live in the atmosphere? What is the pH? So this certain different sort of question. So remember that. What is the, try to understand the question, what is the range of pH? You know that pH for necessary for the organism to live in a river. He asked for the river. So children, I'll tell you the value, kindly note down it. So 6.7 to 7.5. Okay, 6.7 to 7.5. This pH is required to live organisms in the river, right? In a river, organisms to live 6.7, okay, 6.7 to 7.5, right? This value is required to live organisms to live for the organisms which are pH necessary in the organisms to live in water is called 6.7 to 7.5 pH. Okay, so this is the required pH value for the organisms to live in water, right? Got it. Next, one more question. We see that 17th question. Compound X and aluminum are used in join the railway tracks. Name the compound X. Name the process associated with this. Actually, the 2 mark question it is. Still, you write this. So, compound X is aluminum. Compound X and aluminum are used to join the railway tracks. Right. Right. So which is nothing but the compound is called the, what is the X compound? We have to write the X compound, that is X compound is Fe2O3. So X compound is Fe2, sorry, I'll write it little neatly, Fe2O3. okay, right? Fe2O3, ferrous oxide, right? Ferrous oxide. Fe2O3 is a compound which is used to join the railway tracks. In the chapter metal we have discussed it. So compound X and aluminum, with the aluminum it is used, ferrous oxide is used with the aluminum to join the railway tracks. So here the X compound, we can say that he has not given the name, instead of that name he has given X. So the compound X is aluminum oxide, iron oxide, that is Fe2O3, which is used with the plus aluminium, okay, which is used with the aluminium, this process. So next question he asked, that is, what is that process? This process is called children, sorry, yeah. So we are discussing 17th question, right? So aluminum along with the aluminum plus ferrous oxide Fe2O3. Okay, this is being used, okay, to join the railway tracks. This is together heated and used to join the railway tracks which are get damaged. Okay, so what is this process is called it as? So this process, children, is called as, remember that this is called thermite process. Thermite, okay, process. This is called a thermite process. Remember children, this is called thermite process. So first question, in that first question is, that is 17th question, what is the X compound, which is called Fe2O3, and name the X compound. And second B option is name the process associated with it. The associated process is thermite process, which is called as thermite process. So next 18th question, let's try to see that. Unscientific disposal of waste is a curse to environment. Why? So this is application type of question. uh, Curse, you know that curse means it's not good, right? So unscientific disposal of waste, if you disposal of a waste is unscientific, then it can most of the non biodegradable waste, if we in the if get accumulate in the environment, so obviously it spoils the environment, and it barrens the fertile land, and it has many adverse effect. Okay, so that we have to write as a one answer, that is 18th answer, that is we can say that waste of pollute environment, the biodegradable waste will be more than the rate at which it decays. Okay, then poisonous substances will increase through biomagnification. You know that the process biomagnification we have discussed in a previous class. So through the biomagnification process, the poisonous substances will increase through the biomagnification. Then it what it does, it waste or spoils the soil and even water. So waste or spoil the soil and as well as water, right? So I'll just read out the question answer once again, that is the biodegradable waste will be more than the rate of which it is decays. You know that for the decaying it takes a lot of time, but every day we are generating a lot of biodegradable waste that cannot be get recycled very easily, and then poisonous substances will be increased through the biomagnification, right? Due to the non biodegradable pollutant, the poisonous substances increases. And also third point we can write as it wastes the spoil it spoils the soil and water, right? It spoils the soil as well as water. Okay children, till 18th question we have discussed today, and we shall see in the next class. So we can solve some more questions of MCQs and 1 mark questions. So till then children, this is your Sajid sir saying take care and bye bye.